Yo guys, it's me Josh and welcome to Let's Talk About, the series in which I talk about what's flowing through my head. So, Manchester United. Now, I'm a Manchester United fan myself and I try to watch pretty much all the games I can on TV. It's a bit difficult to go to the ground at the moment, of course, because of COVID and that, but I have been there. In fact, I went 2019, and that was good. But specifically, the Glazers. Now, most Manchester United fans like me do not like the Glazers, and let me explain a bit why. So, the first thing is, because there's quite a few main things, the first thing is, they never give the manager, the club, the players he asks for. So, for example, you have a list of 3 players, and the preference, your second preference and your third preference. And so one of them would be, say you want Memphis Depay, and the other option, no, that's not a good example. Let me think. So say you want David De Gea, which we already got, but say we didn't have him, you want David De Gea. Well, they would then get you Carl Darlow, as your second priority if he was in your list. So they never get the manager, the players he wants. For example, Ole wanted Jack Grealish, and they got him Donny van de Beek. He wanted Haaland, and they got him Cavani. It's like they never get the manager, the players he wants. They're also awful at employing their senior staff, and the CEO is completely incompetent, that being Ed Woodward. For example, Matt Judge is in charge of transfers, and he is awful. He bought Harry Maguire for 80 million. Anyone with a bit of competence would have got him for about 40. And he's employed by Ed Woodward, who is employed by the Glazers. So if they just employed competent people, even with their other issues, it would still be a lot better. They've also taken out millions in dividends. So instead of putting a lot of money into the club, they just basically run the club pretty much on the funds it makes and hardly put any in and take millions out in their dividends, which is really annoying. And just why? They already have billions and they still take out millions in dividends. And no owner who actually cares about the club and its success would do that. And that makes no sense from a footballing perspective. It's great from a business perspective because they make a load of money. But from a football perspective, that makes no sense whatsoever. They also bought the club on debt when they got it. So they didn't hardly pay for it. They just bought it. I'm not quite sure of the technicalities of it because I'm not really an accountant or anything. But they basically bought the club by paying for it with the club's own worth, and then that made the club go more into debt. So they didn't actually technically use their own money to buy it, which again is smart business-wise, but awful in a footballing sense. And for the actual club, it's really bad. So that is the main thing where the problem started, was when they bought it actually on debt, and the old owner, John Magnifer, I think he was called, he was much better. But the Glazers are nowhere near as good as he was. And it's testament, actually, to how good Alex Ferguson was, the fact that he still managed to be successful despite the Glazers and despite them owning the club when he was manager. Because they took over, I think it was about 2005 or something. Well, he was manager until 2013, and he still won a load of Premier League titles and a load of trophies, despite him not having the best backing. And then ever since, you've seen that Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, has never quite been the same, and David Moyes initially, has never quite been the same with the results. And yeah, not good. Because they set up David Moyes for failure, actually, to be honest. Because although it was Alex Ferguson's decision, they sort of hyped him up as the big replacement, but nobody was going to come in and win a load of Premier League titles straight off the bat. Nobody was going to directly continue it on. So he was always going to fail, and then the managers just haven't managed to pick it back up because they're nowhere near as highly skilled as Alex Ferguson was, and haven't been able to win the titles with little backing. So now it's in a position where we fight to get top 4 every year rather than wheel away with the title in like February. So the Glazers have just been a complete failure for the club, and I don't see anything much good they've done apart from for their own pocket, personally. But I mean, if you disagree with me, if you're a Man U fan yourself, let me know. But I think they've been awful owners personally, and I think if we can replace them with some like Arab who's got a lot of oil money or something, like Man City did with their owners, then I think we'll be much more successful, because there's not many managers, if any, who can be successful without zero backing these days, or little backing these days. So we need owners who are prepared to put the money in. But yeah, that's my views on that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.